Back, take two. Fingers crossed it holds up this time. So now we've got the TNA X Division title. Angle's second outing. Hey TT. Against Jay Lethal. Dr. Nash, as he's calling himself, asks Lethal to take a dive. Says Kurt's got bigger fish to fry. Such TNA bollocks. I mean, why would Nash? Wouldn't he ask him to take a dive in private? Why would he do it in front of the cameras when he's being interviewed? Also, to dismiss the X title as nothing. That's typical rubbish. Typical Russo rubbish. Hey, Emery. Thanks for coming back. Should be a good match, though. Two of TNA's finest at this time. And I always enjoy Jay Lethal's Macho Man impressions. It's Jay Lethal, or Black Machismo as he was known then, against Kurt Angle for the X Division bout. Oh, really? Oh, Kurt Angle's a legend. Oh, nice. Well, he was originally like an amateur wrestler. He wrestled in the Olympics in '96 and won a gold medal. And that's kind of that's how WWF like recognized him. And he debuted for WWF in the late 90s, 99, and had a fantastic career there, and then moved to TNA, and obviously was a big star there because it's a smaller company. But yeah, Angle's a legend. I think he's one of those guys, his ego got in the way a bit sometimes, and he maybe stayed on a bit too long, but no, he had a great career. Yeah, Shawn Michaels, one of the all-time greats as well, Shawn Michaels. In many ways, I think Shawn Michaels' second run when he returned probably was even better because I think he'd really matured as a wrestler. And there was less of the antics which tended to get in the way before. Yeah, I like Stone Cold. Great character. Obviously, Austin was good in ring as well. Bit more limited as his career went on because of his neck problems, but no, the character was great and he had some great matches. Some good stuff in WCW as well earlier in his career. Yeah, it's on Impact Plus, which is like TNA's streaming service. Insecurity, Jay Lethal coming back. TNA players starting to buff now. I don't remember how this whole night turns out. It would obviously be a big story if Kurt lost all three titles. But if he loses all three and it's like something happens on the outside in all three, that's just ridiculous. I wouldn't put past anything though, past TNA. Ooh. I love not only the belly to belly suplex off the top he does, but the way he leaps up there to do it. Oof. Still haven't had a Dom West. Oh my god! Just yet. You gotta be kidding me. It's not quite a TNA pay-per-view without one of those. Lethal combination. Going for the Macho Man elbow. Here we go. Oh, yeah. If that was the real Macho Man doing that, you know that would have been curtains for Kurt. Oh, ankle lock time. Massive upset. Had a feeling it was coming though. So I reckon he'll probably win the last match against Abyss. Because I don't remember Abyss having another run as world champion. And I can see them building up the story that Abyss might be favourite because Angle has had, this tough match. And psychologically, he's lost too. So I reckon he'll probably be Abyss. Of course, he only gets to celebrate with the jobbers. What voice is he doing? Seems to be putting some sort of a reggae style accent on it. Of course, there's no disqualification. Most matches so far haven't, so why the hell not? Chris Harris against Black Rain. That's a pretty cool announcement, though. From the deepest corner, from the deepest, darkest corner of his mind. That might be the one good thing about this whole crappy gimmick. Couple of more things to mention for either channel. Coming up soon, I will be reviewing Capital Combat 1990, WCW Capital Combat 90, Return of RoboCop. Because basically I'm reviewing every WCW pay-per-view of the 90s on the channel. So that's the next one. I have already done Wrestle War 90, which you should be able to find on the channel. It's not actually, if you go on videos, it's not actually there, but if you look under playlists, you should find it there. I think it's just because I transferred it over from my other channel, and for some reason it hasn't appeared in video. I think because it was in a playlist on the other channel, so I just transferred it. That might be why, but yeah, if you want to see if you have an interest in early 90s WCW and you want to follow along, I already did a review of Wrestle War 90, which can be found on the WCW 90s pay-per-view review list playlist. And my next review will be the next show, of course, as I said, Capital Combat 90, Return of RoboCop. So that's coming soon. I might try and get that out in the next couple of weeks. And just sort of talking about Halloween and next month and stuff. I'll remind you guys, since many of you sub to my other channel as well, that tomorrow night I will be kicking off October with a live stream of Night of the Living Dead, the original George A. Romero film, the classic, which is easy to find because it's public domain. So my guess is it's probably on YouTube. Well, October. Henry, which is 15 minutes away. It's 1:45. So, yeah, tomorrow night on my other channel at 11 o'clock, I will be doing a live stream watch of Night of the Living Dead. The first of many live streams. Also up tomorrow will be my first horror movie review of the month, which I'm gonna actually put up after I get off doing this. No spoilers, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but my first review of the month, and the plan is to do at least a video a day. Oh, big win for Harris, beating Black Rain. Way to push him. Handcuffs, eh? Pretty kinky. Yeah. Are you telling me that's why it's a bit shit? Because it's Sky? Yeah, Black Rain / Dustin Rhodes looking a bit Fu Manchu. All right, but I'm in the same room, Anthony, and the box is right next to me. It is a bit inconsistent. Yeah. Yeah, it's right next to me. I don't know. I think we've had the box a while. It's probably not that old, maybe 2 or 3 years old. But it could be the box. Yeah, you're right. Might look into switching. Could be the lead as well. Right. Yeah, I think during my uni years when I lived in the house for a year, I think we had Virgin and I remember it being good. Oh, is it? Oh God, is this still going on? The match finished ages ago. His answer to Jake the Snake, except he's putting a bloody rat on him. He just got ratified. I'm sorry, that was terrible. And then he kisses the rat. Yeah, I might look into getting Virgin Media. All right. Yeah, I mean, I might see if Mum might go halves with me. You know, if we paid 30 each a month. But then even if it's 30, considering I'm unemployed, that's probably still too much. We'll see though. Yeah, such a such a great line. So I cracked a member of your family's head open with a coconut. So what? That is such a wrestling line. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's a bit racist. I don't know. I'll have to ask Mum. Obviously, we've got the main Sky, but the problem is, I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's awesome. Was this when AJ's a heel and he's like idolizing Ric Flair? Such a shit heel. Well, I was gonna say, Anthony, because they charge like Sky, they charge us for the line rental, even though we don't really want a landline, and the landline doesn't work anymore anyway. So that's another reason why we might swap over. Well, we can do, but I think the trouble is the internet goes through the phone line. But yeah, but I think we would have to swap over, like we would have to get new internet. Well, I don't know if they said that. I think it's just I think it is through the internet because like the box sort of hooks into where the phone line goes. But I don't know. I might. Yeah, I don't think this one does. Not for the actual box. Say hi back. Why can't she get on? The stream's up and running again and not buffing. Okay. Right. Yeah, don't worry about it. What? How does that work? What sort of technology allows that? So you're holding the phone line to the internet or something? I've got an Now AX shirt, which I got when I went to see TNA in Liverpool. Such a cool tag team they were. Always like Chris Sabin, one of my favourites from this time. So I was saying earlier, Anthony, the film tomorrow night, Night of the Living Dead, it should be available on YouTube because it's public domain. Who the fuck is this guy? Al Havoc. Serotonin. Because it's public domain, so it should be free on YouTube. I'll have a look after this. So you can get it easy if you want to watch along. That's the plan, at least. Well, when I say one a day, I mean reviews. So there will be a video up a day, at least one. But I'll do plenty of live streams as well. Do some special TV ones as well as, horror movies. But it's going to be a fun month. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you guys good notice of the films I'm going to watch on live stream. What, just a random episode, you mean? I saw the first season when it first aired. Ooh, sick bump. Maybe. I'm not sure I'll do it this month, but maybe in the future. And we'll definitely do that. We'll watch Final Destination tomorrow, the second one. And actually, that's one of the planned live streams is Final Destination 3. So that will be coming later in the month. Who? I don't remember this guy. Jimmy Raid. This is an alright match, but they're obviously packing too much into it. Bully Ray. I've got to watch that horror movie with the Dudley boys in. I'm sure I heard there was a horror movie with them in. Yeah, the Final Destination franchise is going to be interesting for me because I've only ever seen the first one. So it'll be interesting to see if the first one is the best of them. God, Raven, what does he look like? So random. He's wearing like cut off jeans and a shirt, and then he's got a top hat on. The hell? Because I think I've heard the second one's good. Final Destination. Oh, Raven straight out. Bollocks. Raven impersonating Luke the Bushwhacker from Rumble 91. Shark Boy looking to eat up the competition. I could do episode 1 now of Walking Dead. It's a really good pilot, even though the series, you know, I've only seen the first series anyway, which I quite like, but I wouldn't say it was perfect. And I've heard then it gets worse in later series. But yeah, the pilot I remember being very good. Full Nelson Bomb is a great move. The way Bubba Ray delivers it. Now I wonder who played the Voodoo Queen. I will say, when talking about October and the horror reviews, I will be starting at least 2 franchises this month. At least 2. Maybe more, but at least 2. And I will be continuing 2 as well, which I'd already started. Fu Manchu, Tonko. See you later, Dudleys. Tomko and Hernandez stare down. Oh, I met Primetime once, Elix Skipper, at an indie show. He was really nice. And I know for you, those of you who aren't wrestling fans, those names won't mean anything. But, you know, if you are, then you'll probably know. Depending on what promotions you've watched and what era of wrestling you followed. I might be remembering this one, but I'm sure one of the Motor City Machine Guns won the world title. I think it was Chris Sabin. I'm sure he had at least a short run with it. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Oh, Christy Hemming looking damn fine. Lance Hoyt. You can tell that's such a made up name. It's like, we'll go for the most generic sounding first name and just pull it together with a generic sounding surname. It sort of rhymes. Lance Hoyt. It'll do. God. I forgot Kip James was in TNA at this point. He's another one like Brutus Beefcake. I can't believe he just kept getting employed. At least Beefcake in WWE, he had, that cool barber's gimmick. I mean, I say that. Of course, I know how Beefcake kept getting jobs because he knew Hogan, and they were best friends. And Beefcake definitely out of the two was the better worker. He wasn't great, but he was definitely better than Kip James. EY. So bugs me when they do that. His name's Eric Young. It takes like 2 seconds to say, and he has to shorten it by saying EY. Hernandez takes a tumble out. Eric Young with a giant kill and elimination there on Tomko. Oh, if the Voodoo Mafia win, I'm gonna riot. Oh no. He's there. So who's Tomko's partner? I'm sure we haven't had his partner out yet. Maybe I just missed it. Oh, it's AJ Styles, isn't it? It's gonna be AJ and Tomko, I reckon, winning this. So now we get a tag match to decide the whole thing. Motor City Machine Guns against AJ Styles and Tomko. And my money's on Tomko and AJ Styles. Nice. Yeah, that metaphor doesn't quite work. Bees hardly make banging noises. Awesome splash. Love that move, Pele. Uh, Handful of tights, and the 1, 2, 3. Styles and Tomko. Tonko's maniacal smile is pretty cool. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Sorry. The singing was because the interviewer said, "It's gone beyond a family affair," and Joe then repeated the line, "Yeah, it's not a family affair." So I just got the song in my head. shit. Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Trump. He's always trying to be a stand-up comedian. But I was saying before, I think if you're an undecided voter, you're not really going to be any the wiser after last night. And I'm not sure if debates really do that anyway, but especially last night. I agree he's a better speaker. I mean, obviously, he's had more experience speaking in public. Well, more convincing. I hope he's not more convincing because obviously his messages are very dangerous. And I mean, what I'll say about Biden is that he did keep it about the policies for the most part. And there was certainly more substance to what he was saying than what Trump was saying. I would say it's a, I would, he had comebacks, but they were cheap shots, a lot of them. They weren't, I mean, I'd certainly say there was certain, I think the first, like, yeah, I can see your point, but then when he's attacking, Joe Biden's family, like his son, I mean, that has to come across as just bad and just nasty. Because, I mean, I didn't even realize one of Biden's sons had died. And and it was the one that died they were sort of talking about. And then Trump changed the subject or didn't, then attacked the one who was still alive, who like had a cocaine problem. Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, by the way, in the ring. Should be a good match. Yeah, I mean, well, that's certainly part of my point. I think, yeah, based on last night, I wouldn't expect someone who's hardcore Trump or who was going to vote Trump anyway to change. But probably the same with Biden. If you're going to vote Biden, I don't think you would change sides based on last night. The way I see it, and I've said all along it's going to. It wouldn't surprise me. I can't say for sure. It's going to be very close. A few months ago, I would have said Trump would have won for sure, but I think things have changed. I think the way Trump has handled the virus and what's going on at the moment and his reaction to the racism in America, I mean, I think that would have lost him some voters, or at least it would have encouraged some people who might not have voted to go out and vote, Biden. But it's going to be close. I mean, I was worried when Biden got the nomination because I just thought, well, they're going to see it as more of the same. And I always liked Hillary Clinton and thought she was a great contender. So if she was seen as a weak candidate, then I guess in a way Biden's even more. The only difference is that we've now had 4 years of Trump, so he can no longer rely on. Oh, I'm not underestimating personality. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. After 4 years, I think Trump has been more exposed. I think. I think 4 years ago it was easy for him because he could come from the outside and say, "Oh, I'm an outsider. I'm talking for you," and stuff. I mean, I think the Democrats should have gone for a young progressive female. That's the direction they should have taken, I think. And I do think that, without making it about gender, because obviously it has to be the right candidate no matter their gender, but I think sometimes women do approach politics with a more level head and there's less ego. And I think if you think about it, yeah, and if you think about it, that would help them attract an, a different demographic too. Yeah, that's the point. I mean, if you think about this election, chances are, if you've been a Trump supporter for the last 4 years, you're going to be a Trump supporter this time. But I don't see him attracting many new voters. And possibly you might say Biden's probably going to attract roughly the same amount of voters as Clinton did. Whereas, yeah, if you had like a young progressive woman, she could potentially attract a few younger voters who might not normally vote. Or if she was like, say, African American, she could potentially attract. I mean, I think Democrats tend to do well with African Americans anyway, but might get a few extras. Of course, not that I'm saying they should go for that candidate just for that, but boom. I think my hope is when you look at how close the election was 4 years ago, and it was definitely close, Trump only just won, and he was proven to have lost the popular vote, then if he's even lost a fraction of his fan base since then that fraction might be enough to turn it Biden's way. But then who knows? I mean, Biden might prove less popular than Clinton. We'll see. STF time. The VM debate will be interesting in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that. Well, that was very delayed, Anthony. He does have a cult. Most of them released from an insane asylum, so it seems. Fancy trying to pull a short man's hair. Really good match, but typical shitty TNA finish. And if they're security guards, I'm the Easter Bunny. Oh, don't worry, I'll be getting to UK politics. In fact, I wouldn't mind predicting that by the time we get to our next election, neither of the two main leaders will be in place. There will be two new leaders. I can certainly see it with the Tories happening. Because I don't think they're going to stand for Boris breaking international law. Kurt taking him out on the no surrender sign. Hard. Hmm. Nash and Angle are arguing before this match, which seems to me to mean that Nash will probably help Angle win the match. That's kind of TNA logic. Kidding me? Oh, Impact. Didn't know Impact started back here. The fans are cheering that, but I bet wrestling reviewers and writers will fuck. We have to watch 2 hours of TNA every Thursday. Main event time. Bum, 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 bum. Abyss's theme is awesome. Bum, bum. I always quite liked the Abyss, but him being in a main event feels very 2002. Spit on the camera, eh? I approve. No hair pulling. That's great. Including Mrs. Angle. That's great. Tams is going to join them for Final Destination tomorrow, by the way. Just saw a message. I'm talking to Anthony, just to make that clear. That's pretty great. Don't worry, I'm not going mad and talking to myself. Oh, Jesus, that fan better shut up. That laugh is brutal. Chop block. Gonna put Abyss in a world of pain now. Grotesque. He's trying to win a wrestling match. How is that grotesque? How have people not seen that weakness in Abyss? It's pretty obvious. He's a big man. You tried to take him on the mat by working on the leg. Hardly rocket science. See, I'm gonna get all these replies now from Anthony of something I said ages ago. Do I think what will be the same? Ugh. Nice spine buster. Like a rag doll. Whoa. Shock treatment. Don't know why they keep having these cutaways on a pay-per-view. Did they have an ad there when it aired? You shouldn't be having ads in the middle of a pay-per-view match. The straps are coming down, baby. Sorry if you could hear that, folks. I went on Facebook for a minute. Yeah. Break his leg. Break his leg. Break his leg. I'm gonna guess. Do you think it will be the same? Was a question about the VP debate. Because that's probably the next thing I said after my final thoughts on last night's. In which case, Anthony, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not sure what sort of public speaker Harris is. I mean, obviously, she might be just the way she comes across might be just quite similar to how Biden comes across. But, obviously, there's a chance she might be very well prepared and, maybe just have a stronger personality than he does. I'm expecting Pence to be full of shit, of course. Black hole slam. Oh. I think it'll be more interesting in a sense just because it's a switch up, and to be honest, after last night the only way is up, because I thought I've got to agree with one talk show host who said it's probably the worst US presidential debate in history. And I would probably agree with that. I think it's maybe good news for well, I guess it could be good news for either side. I mean, if you say this election is very close to call, then potentially if one of the VPs does better than the other, obviously I'm not going to go as far to say that could swing the election, but it certainly could be a plus for their party. Whereas with the Trump Biden debates, realistically, I don't think they're going to swing anyone. You might get the odd person, but by and large, I think most people have made up their minds by now. And it could be the case with they have it, Kurt wins after a long ankle lock. And he won clean. So I was wrong about Nash. Yeah, and you might say that about the VP debates as well, but I guess it's at least a chance to have a different voice. And I mean, maybe Harris will be a bit better, a bit more confident than Biden was. And I think it takes on an even bigger importance, the VP debate, just because Harris, if Biden did win the election, she's looking likely to fill his role in 4 years' time. So it's actually a good opportunity to really sell herself, not just as VP, but as a future president. Someone saw him through the ring. Who's it gonna be? That evil James Mitchell laugh. Dragging him down to hell. Well, I know it's not the Undertaker. Into the abyss. Brilliant. Okay. Bit of a dumb way to end a pay-per-view, that, especially when you don't see who it is. See, that's going to bug me now. I'm going to wonder who that was. And I have no idea. Okay, so that's the pay-per-view TNA No Surrender from 2007. Overall, pretty good. I'd say typical TNA at the time. A lot of good action, but again, some really sloppy finishes and too much BS going on around the matches. But no, it's all right. Pretty solid card overall. Probably nothing amazing, but there was sort of 2 or 3 like standout matches. Yeah, so that's the pay-per-view. I was saying before on the other stream, then because I misjudged how many days are in September, I was thinking I'd have another day to do another pay-per-view watch tomorrow, but obviously I've run out of days in September now. But I will still do Full Brawl 98 as the last September watch. I'll just do it in October, basically. So that'll be coming up soon, Full Brawl 98. And obviously, I will be doing then pay-per-views from October past, including a bunch of Halloween Havocs. But yeah, thanks guys for dropping by tonight. Had a pretty good turnout again, and at least a couple new subs, so that's cool. And I will be back tomorrow night on the other channel for my first Halloween or 1st October 2020 live stream. And that will be, of course, Night of the Living Dead, 11 o'clock tomorrow, 11 UK time, that is. So that's about 6 if you're in the States. And yeah, it's public domain, so it's easy to find. It should be free on YouTube, all the rest. So hoping for a good turnout tomorrow night for Night of the Living Dead. And happy October, guys. See you guys soon. Goodbye.